there's this crazy thing called love, and I'm trying to understand it. And it's something that I understand more and more every day, and it's something that I learn more and more through these relationships that I'm in. And, um, it's more than a feeling, it's an action, and it's maybe the thing that wakes you up to realize that life's not all about you. In my eyes, God is love and compassion. And when you're not living in love and compassion, when you're not living pure to the fact of the care that's in your heart, the love that's in your heart, the emotions that you feel, you're detaching from the great things that God has put in your life and the person that God has made you to be. I just heard something really profound today. A friend of mine said, God is love and compassion, and God's will is love and compassion. But sometimes it's a hard place to live, and that's something that I relate to so much, because anytime you're not living out of love and compassion, anytime that you're not looking at all scopes of every situation that's happening, thinking and learning and growing, and you're not able to put in perspective if you're moving out of love and or fear, everything turns into fear. Like when you're not living in God's will, it's, I don't know. It's hard to live in God's will. Well, it's really not. It's not hard to. It's funny. I keep going back and forth on thinking if it's hard or not to live in God's will. And at the end of the day, it's really not. We were put on this earth to love, and in love, that doesn't mean that it's full of roses and daisies, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't give you pain, and it doesn't mean that you don't have to look at yourself, and it doesn't mean that you're gonna constantly be living for yourself and you're gonna feel great about yourself, because that's not love. You know, a part of a relationship is looking out for somebody else, having somebody else in your life, and being unselfish in the fact that you have help, and so much of the time, especially me, I feel as though I don't have help. I'm an island and I need to be alone and I need to solve all these problems myself, and nobody's there for me, which is just a trauma response to the way things have been in my life. The abandonment issues maybe I have, the person that I'm running from, and myself, and the person I'm running from falling in love with. At the end of the day, there's a part of vulnerability and love and letting yourself love, because you're scared sometimes that if you open up this way, if you show this person that you love them, if you show true love and true care, that it will not be responded to. And maybe this is a Gen Z um, filter that we've learned to have as men, or at least I've learned to have as men, that the more you show somebody that you love them, the more they'll run away from you and not love you back. And I found that in my relationships and in life, that I don't need to be loved back. And just because they don't love me back might just be because they don't know what love is yet, or they're learning about love themselves. And that's completely fine. But my love can be pure. I can want the best for somebody. I can be this person and not worry about the outcome, because sometimes people don't realize it, but they're operating out of, and I don't realize it, that I'm operating out of 100 versions of fear. I'm fearful of the person I love going down a certain path. I'm fearful of these certain things, even for myself. Like what I'm fearful of, I project, and that's what people do also to you. And you have to take a step back and realize, like, you have to have compassion. You have to have patience. You have to have these character traits because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. At the end of the day, nobody is ever going to be perfect. And some people belong in your life and some people don't. But as long as you have the common goal of love, I feel like that's the biggest key, because love is a journey. It's not a destination. You don't just have it and that's it. You don't just feel it and it's gone. It's actively happening. Uh, it's active effort, and that's something that I've learned and something that I'm baffled with, because in this active effort, you have to look in yourself. In this active effort, you have to grow in yourself and understand that you have to let go of yourself. That's the person you have to let go of, the person that you're trying to protect, the person that you're trying to hold close, which is yourself. You have to let go of that person. You have to let go of this mask that you put up to the world and drop it for that one person, for the people, even in your family, to go somewhere, to get somewhere, and a lot of times this is the parts of love nobody talks about, that you have to do this introspection. You have to look in yourself to realize, you know, am I truly living God's will? And no matter what religion you live in, no matter what God you have, in my eyes, God is love and compassion. And when you're not living in love and compassion, when you're not living pure to the fact of the care that's in your heart, the love that's in your heart, the emotions that you feel, you're detaching from the great things that God has put in your life and the person that God has made you to be, because He didn't put that fear in your heart. He didn't put that resentment in your heart. He didn't put these pains in your heart, or not pains, but these dark emotions in your heart to run away from. He didn't put these pains in your heart to not embrace and learn from. And there's this crazy thing called love, and I'm trying to understand it. And it's something that I understand more and more every day, and it's something that I learn more and more through these relationships that I'm in. And it's more than a feeling. It's an action, and it's maybe the thing that wakes you up to realize that life's not all about you. It's not all about the success. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the fame or whatever you want to call it. It's about living for something bigger than you, living for a woman, living for a family, living for more than you, you know? And that's a feeling that I've never felt, putting somebody first, or putting and unselfishly living because this person's in your life, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful to have love. I'm grateful to love, because at a point in time, I feel like I didn't have in me the strength or the durability to love, because I didn't love myself enough. I didn't love myself to be there for myself, so I could never be there for somebody else. And something that's amazing is that I'm able to be there for other people today, and I'm able to look at a different perspective, to know that and learn so many different things, because love is something you're always learning about, and life is something that you're always gonna continue to grow in. It's never gonna be perfect, but I gotta love it. I do love it, and thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Drop a comment if you relate, if you are lost in love just like me. Thanks for watching.